In the age of laser cutters and computer-guided diamond wheels, we can shape the hardest crystals with surgical precision in a matter of hours. Yet deep in the rainforests of Central America, something far older was supposedly pulled from the earth that matches that level of perfection without any of our machines. A life-sized human skull carved from a single block of flawless quartz, polished to a mirror finish that catches light like living bone. Think about this. Ancient civilizations had no wheels, no metal lathes, no electricity. How is this possible? The mystery of the crystal skulls challenges everything we believe about the limits of the past. These objects didn't just appear in dusty museums. They emerged from jungle ruins and shadowy auctions, carrying stories that feel too perfect to be true. But here's the problem. Science keeps pulling back the curtain, yet the questions refuse to die. In the next 20 minutes, you'll discover the dramatic jungle find that launched a legend, the museum acquisitions that fooled experts for decades, the anonymous delivery that landed in Washington, the lab tests that revealed modern tool marks, and the forgotten European workshops that may hold the real answer. You'll see exact measurements, real names, and cold, hard data. And by the end, you'll be left asking the same question archaeologists still debate today. Were these relics of lost knowledge or the most elegant hoax in history? Stay with me. It was 1924 in the crumbling Maya ruins of Lubon Tune, deep in what was then British Honduras, now Belize. British adventurer Frederick Albert Mitchell-Hedges had brought his 14-year-old adopted daughter, Anna, on a grueling expedition searching for traces of lost civilizations. One afternoon, while the team cleared debris from a collapsed pyramid, Anna crawled into a narrow gap beneath a fallen altar stone. Her hands brushed against something cold and smooth. She pulled it free, a perfectly formed human skull glowing in the filtered jungle light. The object was carved from one solid piece of clear rock crystal quartz. It measures 13 centimeters high, 18 centimeters from front to back, and 13 centimeters wide, roughly the size of a small adult cranium. The surface is polished to an almost impossible smoothness, with delicate eye sockets, a full set of teeth, and a detachable lower jaw that fits so precisely it can move. The crystal itself is so transparent that light passes through it in eerie, focused beams. Technically, the skull functions like a natural optical instrument. Its curved surfaces refract and concentrate light in ways that create shifting shadows across the interior, almost as if the empty sockets are watching. Ancient artisans would have needed to grind and polish for hundreds of hours, using only stone and abrasive sand to achieve this finish from a material ranked 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, harder than steel. But here's where it gets strange. Pre-Columbian Maya and Aztec toolkits contained no rotary wheels, no metal abrasives, no metal files capable of this uniformity. The crystal block would have cracked under uneven pressure from hand tools alone. Even today, modern engineers using computer-controlled diamond-coated burrs still struggle to replicate the seamless curvature without microscopic scratches or fractures on a piece this size. Mitchell-Hedges himself was a larger-than-life character, stockbroker turned treasure hunter who had risked malaria, poisonous snakes, and collapsing ruins in pursuit of Atlantis legends. He later claimed the skull was a Mayan relic of unimaginable power, passed down through priests. Yet records show he actually bought it at Sotheby's auction in London years later for £400. So how did they actually do it? Just 3 years earlier, in 1897, a different skull surfaced in Paris before making its way to the British Museum in London. French antiquities dealer Eugène Bauban offered it to collectors as an authentic Aztec masterpiece recovered from Mexico. The museum acquired it the following year through New York jewelers Tiffany & Company, convinced it was a genuine pre-Columbian artifact. This skull, also carved from a single block of clear quartz, matches the Mitchell-Hedges dimensions almost exactly: 13 centimeters high, 18 centimeters long, 13 centimeters wide. Unlike the one from Belize, it has no separate jaw, but its eye sockets are deeply hollowed and its teeth are etched with fine parallel lines that catch the light with uncanny realism. The entire surface gleams with a glassy polish that feels almost wet to the touch. The engineering insight lies in the precision grinding. Artisans somehow removed material evenly across every curve while preserving the natural clarity of the quartz. No bubbles, no inclusions visible to the naked eye. The result is an object that transmits light like a lens, creating faint internal refractions that some early observers swore looked like moving shadows. Yet this level of control should not have existed before the Industrial Revolution. Quartz requires diamond or corundum abrasives and high-speed rotary tools to avoid shattering. Mesoamerican cultures left behind no evidence of such equipment. Even today, lapidary artists in specialized workshops admit that polishing a life-sized crystal skull to this standard demands weeks of careful machine work and constant monitoring to prevent thermal stress cracks.
Gentlemen, this is no mere curio. My sources in the Yucatan guarantee its authenticity. A treasure such as this cannot be found anywhere else in Europe.
His reputation carried risk. Rumors of forged artifacts followed him, but the skull's arrival in London felt like a triumph for the museum's growing collection of ancient wonders. For decades, it stood on display as proof of advanced indigenous craftsmanship. But this is where it gets strange. So how did a supposed Aztec relic end up looking like it rolled off a 19th century jeweler's bench? Fast forward to 1992 in Washington, D.C. A heavy, anonymous package arrived at the Smithsonian Institution with a simple note claiming the contents were an Aztec crystal skull of great antiquity. Inside was the largest example yet known: 31 pounds of milky white quartz standing nearly 15 inches tall. Curator Jane McLaurin Walsh unpacked it under the watchful eyes of her team, stunned by its scale and weight. The skull had been carved from one massive block, its proportions slightly exaggerated yet anatomically convincing. Measuring roughly 38 centimeters in height with a corresponding width and depth, it dwarfed the others. Its surface showed the same high polish, though with a cloudier translucence caused by natural mineral inclusions. The eye sockets and nasal cavity were hollowed with surgical care, allowing light to play across internal planes in hypnotic patterns. Technically, the piece demonstrates remarkable control over a notoriously difficult material. Quartz expands and contracts with temperature. One wrong move during polishing and the entire block could split. Whoever shaped it managed to balance removal rates across every contour, producing a symmetrical form that feels eerily balanced in the hand despite its bulk. But this should not have been possible for ancient carvers working with stone hammers and sand. The sheer mass alone would have required scaffolding and counterweights unknown in pre-Columbian workshops. Even today, modern sculptors using industrial diamond wheels and cooling systems report that pieces over 20 pounds push the limits of material stability. Any vibration or uneven pressure ruins the work. Walsh, a respected anthropologist specializing in Mesoamerican artifacts, had spent years tracking similar objects. This arrival came amid growing skepticism in her field. The donor remained unknown, adding another layer of intrigue to an already shadowy story. The skull sat in storage while questions mounted. Think about this. If it really came from an ancient temple, why send it through the mail with no paperwork? But the real shock was still to come. By the early 2000s, the British Museum turned to its own conservation scientist, Margaret Sachs, for answers. In 2004, she placed the London skull under scanning electron microscopes and X-ray crystallography alongside samples of genuine pre-Columbian quartz carvings. The results were unmistakable. Sachs's team documented the physical evidence on the very same skull acquired in 1898. Microscopic grooves left by high-speed rotary wheels and jeweler's abrasives developed only in the 19th century. The quartz itself contained trace elements matching deposits in Brazil and Madagascar, regions never traded with ancient Mexico. The teeth showed perfectly parallel striations no hand tool could produce. The engineering insight here is damning yet precise. These tools spin at thousands of revolutions per minute, slicing quartz cleanly where ancient methods would leave jagged, irregular scars. The polish is too uniform, the symmetry too perfect for anything but industrial-age lapidary equipment. Even today, with all our CNC machines and laser guidance, replicating these exact tool marks while hiding them from casual inspection requires expert calibration. Modern forgers have tried, and most fail under the microscope. Sachs's work didn't just question one skull, it cast doubt on the entire family of objects. Yet the human stakes were high. For over a century, the British Museum had presented the piece as authentic Aztec craftsmanship, shaping public understanding of Mesoamerican skill. Curators had invested their reputations. When the data came in, the exhibit label quietly changed from ancient to 19th century. But this leaves an open question. If the tools were modern, who wielded them, and why go to such lengths? The trail led back to the workshops of Idar Oberstein in Germany during the late 1800s. This small town had become the world's center for quartz carving, importing massive blocks from Brazil and turning them into luxury objects for European collectors hungry for exotic curiosities. Local artisans, using newly invented rotary diamond tools, produced everything from elaborate goblets to animal figures with breathtaking detail. One documented technique involved mounting quartz on lathes and applying progressively finer abrasives, exactly the process that matches the marks on the museum skulls. A single life-sized skull could take months, but the payoff was enormous. Wealthy buyers paid premium prices for anything labeled Aztec or Mayan. The impossibility factor is cultural and economic. No ancient temple needed these objects. No Mesoamerican record mentions crystal skulls. Yet the demand in Victorian Europe created a perfect market for skilled German craftsmen to supply what collectors craved. Even today, the same workshops in Idar Oberstein still produce crystal skulls on modern machines, and the results look nearly identical under casual inspection. The story element carries real risk for the artisans themselves. Long hours breathing silica dust, the pressure of meeting exacting client specifications, the knowledge that their work might be passed off as ancient. Eugene Boban and others simply acted as middlemen, shipping the finished pieces across the Atlantic with fabricated provenances. So how did these modern masterpieces fool the world's greatest museums for generations? You've just walked through 5 of the most famous crystal skulls: the jungle discovery, the museum acquisitions, the anonymous giant, the microscope revelations, and the quiet German workshops that supplied them all. Each one seemed to promise a window into lost civilizations, yet the measurements, the tool marks, the mineral traces, and the paper trails all point to the same quiet truth. These were not relics of the Maya or Aztecs. They were products of 19th century ingenuity, crafted to feed a hunger for mystery. But here's the deeper idea that ties them together. These skulls didn't just challenge what we thought we knew about the past, they revealed how easily wonder can be manufactured. In an era when explorers raced to claim ancient wonders, clever hands and quiet workshops answered the demand with objects so beautiful they almost felt sacred. The real lost knowledge wasn't in the jungle. It was the forgotten art of turning raw quartz into legend. Science has closed the case on their age, yet the fascination refuses to fade. Because in the end, the greatest mystery isn't whether they are real or a hoax, it's why we needed them to be real in the first place. What does that say about our own relationship with the unknown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're watching from a city museum or a jungle trail, tell me, do these skulls still hold power even after the truth came out? The past keeps its secrets, but sometimes the clearest answers shine brightest under a microscope. Thanks for watching. If this made you think twice about what we call history, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories where fact and legend collide. Until next time, keep questioning everything.